Welcome to the Management Channel, and we are now going to go into teamwork. The objectives here are discover the major differences between groups and teams. We're going to examine the four basic group types. We're going to learn about the three major roles played in groups. We're also going to look at the four major stages of group development and determine the appropriate leadership style that you should use with each one. And we're also going to take a look at what makes teams successful. So, in the team beginnings, you have to understand that oftentimes teams are brought together with people they don't know, or maybe people they don't care for on the floor that they're working with, but they still have to come together to be one team to conquer a common goal. Whether it's two or more people, it's still the same. It's all about working together towards a common goal. Teamwork involves working to achieve something beyond the capabilities of an individual working by themselves. Why do organizations use teams today? Well, times have changed and business has changed. The old school scientific method was you divide the task into manageable units. Managers control, employees do the work. The focus was on productivity, and it kind of ignored quality and customer service. But today is different. Teams are important. Jobs are more complex now. Employees are becoming in power and they get to offer input and ideas. The focus is now on quality and customer service, and rapid change is necessary now. So, the term group and teams are not synonymous. A team is a group whose members influence one another toward the accomplishment of an objective. Groups usually have a designated leader. Teams share responsibility of the leadership. So, what is a group? It's two or more members with a clear leader who perform independent jobs with individual accountability, evaluation, and rewards. A team is a small number of members with shared leadership who perform interdependent jobs with both individual and group accountability, evaluation, and rewards. Well, what is the main difference? The big difference is this. Groups work independent toward the common goal, but separately. There's generally one leader. There are some assigned roles, but mostly are independent. The group size is anywhere from two to any number, and they interact indirectly, or seldom do they interact together. They have independent jobs with individual accountability. Now, teams work with shared values, ideas, and beliefs. They have assigned roles and they share the leadership. They decide things together. Team size can be anywhere from 4 to 20 people. They interact directly as opposed to indirectly. And they have interdependent jobs. They rely on each other and they have both individual and team accountability. There are four basic types of groups. One, the formal group, which is recognized and established by the organization. An informal group, which is self-formed but not necessarily recognized by the organization. There's a functional group, members from a limited organizational area or one department. And then there's cross-functional teams, one that is used quite common. They're members from different areas of the organization, different departments, different levels. You might have managers, floor workers, all working together towards a solution. And then we have the special interest group, grouping of employees who exist to accomplish something individuals they cannot or do not choose to pursue individually, like a protest committee, a labor union, and so forth. So here we have various types of teams, starting with continuous improvement, down to work team, virtual team. I'm going to let you study this for a moment, and if you need to look at it further, please feel free to pause. There are two types of groups, informal and formal. As we already mentioned, a formal group exists within an organization by the virtue of management to perform certain tasks that enhance or help attain organizational objectives. So these types are command groups, task groups, committees, work teams. Work teams, now a common thing in most business organizations, a grouping of 5 to 12 members from different areas of the company who meet regularly to discuss ways to either improve quality, efficiency, or solve a quality problem. The most optimum team size is 5 to 6. If you go beyond that, where you have 10 or 12 members, you're going to spend a lot more time deliberating and deciding amongst themselves. Cross-functional team is a member from every or different departments within the organization, and teams are also used for creativity, such as marketing, research and development, video game makers, and so forth. Stages of formal group development, well, there are 4 stages. The first one is the acceptance stage. There's initial mistrust and anxiety, but once they accept it, the group has mutual trust and acceptance. Communication decision-making stage is open communication, trust between members, and analysis of the problem begins. Group solidarity stage becomes stronger as the group bonds. There's more participation, cooperation, and the confidence of the team and the group grows. And then the group control stage becomes stronger as groups bond, more participation, cooperation, and confidence grows even further. Informal groups are a collection of individuals whose common work experience result in a system of interpersonal relationships that extend beyond those established by management. It could be an interest group or a friendship group. It gains and maintains membership due to a common concern, generally. A friendship group is an informal group that forms because of a personal affiliation member might have with another. Let's say, like Hispanics, for instance. Command group is a formal group consisting of managers and their employees. Task groups consist of employees selected to work on a specific object. A task force is a temporary group formed for a specific purpose. A standing committee, such as a safety committee, is a permanent group that works on continuing organizational issues. A global virtual team, these members are located in different places throughout the world or throughout the country, but work together as a team using telecommunication technologies. Purposes and types of teams, how they're pretty much used by organizations by function. Daily operations can be shifted to teams. They can address special problems like problem solving or brainstorming, or they might plan for future change and manage transitions. Types of teams used in business are for production and service, management teams, project teams, action or performing teams, like setting up a new process, problem solving for either product or service creation, and parallel temp teams used outside of the normal work environment. And again, they're classified by the activities they perform, whether they're permanent or temporary, internal or departmental socialization. Do they have any interdependence? What is the integration and coordination required with others? What is their level of authority or power? We have 4 types of teams. Problem-solving team established to identify and eliminate a specific problem. Self-managed or self-directed team. It's a team that plans, organizes, influences, and controls its own work with minimal management intervention and direction. They are truly an empowered team. Cross-functional team, a work team composed of people from different different functional areas such as marketing, finance, HR, production, engineering, etc. And a product development team, a team organized to create and innovate new product ideas, marketing campaigns, and ways to grow or expand the company further. A virtual team are those members who operate across time, space, or organizational boundaries and are linked together through information technology to achieve an organizational task. You might have someone in Korea, someone in South America, someone in Mexico, Canada, and as well as people in your own country, all working virtually. It's becoming increasingly possible and favorable because of information technology and because of globalization. Virtual team member characteristics, for example, good communication technology skills, strong self leadership, and higher emotional intelligence, these folks are perfect for a virtual team. The toolkit of communication technologies, channels, and freedom for them are the ability to choose the channels that work best for them as a unit. Fairly high task structure with clear operational objectives, and occasionally they have opportunities to meet face to face, especially early in the team development process. Self directed teams are cross functional groups organized around a work process that complete an entire piece of work requiring several interdependent tasks and that have substantial autonomy over the execution of those tasks. In other words, yes, they are empowered. Their success factors are they are responsible for the entire work process. They have high interdependence within the team. They rely on each other heavily. They have the autonomy to organize and coordinate their work. Their work site and technology support team communication and coordination. And there are 5 work team purposes. Advice team, created to broaden the information base for managerial decisions, maybe committees or review panels of new processes, new products. The production team, those for responsible for performing the day-to-day operations, such as assembly teams or maintenance crews. A project team are used generally for creative problem solving, often by applying some specialized knowledge of members from the cross-functional team. We have our action team. They accomplish tasks that require people with specialized training and a high degree of coordination. For instance, hospital surgery teams, airline cockpit crews, police SWAT teams. A self-managed team, groups of workers who are given administrative oversight for their task domains. So every group has what's called group norms. Well, what are they? They're the ground rules that define appropriate and inappropriate behavior within a group. They are also the expectations about behavior that are shared by members of the group. They're really just the group's shared expectations of its members' behavior, and the norms determine what should, ought, or must be done in order for the group to maintain consistent and desirable behavior. The compliance of these group norms is usually enforced by the group. So, leaders should work toward maintaining and developing positive norms for the groups to model by. 4 main functions of norms. 1, they express the group's central values, which give members a sense of who they are as a group. They help coordinate the activities of members by establishing common ground and making behavior a little bit more predictable. The norms also help determine and define appropriate behavior for group members and encourage active participation. Norms help the group survive by creating a distinctive identity. Why are these norms enforced? Well, to help the group survive, to clarify their role expectations, to help their individuals and the group avoid any embarrassing situations, to emphasize the group's important values and their identity. So we have stages of teamwork, and as a team comes together, they pretty much go through the same pattern. Well, almost a consistent pattern. Stage stories do not always happen. Some teams may get stuck at a certain point or just break up. Emotions are pretty much like a roller coaster. The ups and downs of personal emotions affect team performance. Proper development of the group is important if you want team success. So we have the forming, the storming, the norming, the performing, and the adjourning stages. And we're going to look at these closer. Stage one is orientation. It's the forming stage. There's really low development level, moderate to high commitment, and the leaders should allow time for people to become a little more acquainted and socialize a little bit. Generally have like an icebreaker session to get everybody comfortable. The management style is autocratic. The manager has to tell them what to do and how to do it. Then we have the dissatisfaction stage, or the storming stage. There's moderate development level. As time goes on, members tend to become dissatisfied with the group. And because of that, leaders need to encourage members to suggest ideas, voice their disagreements, and work through their conflicts over tasks and goals. Therefore, the management style is consultative, highly directive, supportive, and solicits their input. And then we have what's called the resolution or the norming stage. We now have high developmental level. Members tend to resolve their differences, focus on the task, and become skilled at it. The leaders need to emphasize unity and help identify team goals and values. Therefore, the management style now is participative. Manager and group share decision making together. And then we have the production stage or the performing stage. Now we have outstanding development. There's high commitment and competence is high. Leaders need to allow the members the empowerment they need to work on their tasks. Therefore, the management style here is empowerment, given the authority to make decisions and perform the task to the team. Let them be self-managed now. And finally, the termination, or what we call the concluding or adjourning stage. The task or problem is complete. Members experience feelings about the group dissolving. They didn't like each other in the beginning, and now they're kind of sad that it's the end. So the management style here simply is congratulatory. Compliment the team on the success and reward the team. If nothing else, give them a great pizza party. Training is really important. You need to get your group to understand how to work together. So you train the group in the group process skills. Management functions are POLC. Managers are planners. They empower members to set objectives, develop plans, and make decisions. Organize and staffing. Have members participate in selecting, evaluating, and rewarding members. Leading. Develop team leaders who can change leadership styles as the group develops. And then controlling. Have members monitor the progress, take corrective action, and perform quality control. Again, self-directed teams. How do we define success? Well, could managers and team members see the success differently? How so? How do teams know when they have attained success? Well, when the team reaches its goal or completes a task successfully, they are now at the point of attained success. Project success does not mean team success, however. Was a team necessary, or was the team beneficial for the task? What conditions are necessary for the team to be successful? Well, they need knowledge, skills, and abilities that match the task. Members representative of their organization who have the power to implement group decisions are more successful. Members must have the necessary group process skills to operate effectively. And the tasks definitely need to be well defined, motivating, identifiable, meaningful, and really important, these tasks have to be attainable. Effective teams organize themselves to perform tasks. They develop social relations to support their operations, and they assign leaders to provide direction and facilitate the team operations. Teams typically engage in two types of activities: making decisions and performing tasks. To be successful, teams must have direction, support, and motivation, goals that are specific, clear cut, attainable, measurable, difficult, and challenging, that require team participation, and have a good system of feedback and good communication. The culture of the organization must be supportive, with open communication and collaborative effort. Support for teams must be clear goals, well-defined tasks, but given with adequate resources, reliable information, and technical and group process assistance where needed. And above all, good leadership. So if you're going to develop a successful high-performance team, you need to keep the group small, focus on complementary skill sets, set clear outcome-based goals, enforce productive norms and conflict management, match rewards to contributions, and the benefits of good teamwork are basically improved efficiency and performance, better decisions through more input, increase in employee motivation and engagement, improvement in their job satisfaction with the quality of what they've accomplished and the quality of their work life. Teamwork training improves employees' technical and interpersonal skills. Don't set up a team if you don't train them and prepare them properly for this position. There are problems with teamwork, however. There could be mixed results of success. They might be implemented with little consideration for successful application. There might be improved performance in the short run only. You will find there might be social loafing, and there are a lack of norms and cohesiveness. Implementing teamworks can be very difficult. How to minimize that social loafing? Make individual performance more visible. Thus, have a smaller team. Don't have the 8 to 12. Settle with the 5 to 6. Specialize tasks and measure the individual's performance. Increase their motivation by increasing job enrichment, and select motivated employees in the first place. If you select motivated employees, you're probably not going to have social loafing. Team effectiveness. Effective teams are critical to the success of the organization. They come up with innovative ideas, they accomplish goals, they solve problems, they adapt or facilitate change whenever it's needed. And the most fundamental ingredient to team success is trust. Trust between the members of the team and the team management. There's so much to be learned here about teams, and I hope you discover it further. Thank you for being with us, and have a wonderful day.